If you're a webtoon creator, you know that creating one webtoon is hard enough. It's a lot of work. But today's guest has 4 webtoons. This is VA. She is the creator of Gelaz, Wind of the North, Davi, and the Backstage Boys on Webtoon Canvas. And today, I'm going to find out exactly how she does it. Welcome to the podcast, VA. I am so excited to have you on today.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm really very happy to be here.
I can't wait to talk to you. I've been looking forward to just talking to you like this for a while. I'm so
I'm
excited.
happy.
Okay, so for our listeners who don't know you or haven't read your webcomics, just give us an introduction to you and like how you got on this journey of being a webcomic creator.
Okay, so I'm VA, and I'm the author of today 4 webtoons that are published on Webtoon and Tapas. And yeah, guys, I do 4 webtoons. That's what I've known for. That's what people know me for. But I was first known as the author of Gelaz and also the author of Wind of the North. They are the most popular ones I have. And Wind of the North, it's beloved of a lot of people that actually follow me. So thank you a lot for everyone that loves my webtoons and is listening to this. And I've been drawing since a lot of time. So one day I just decided to start posting webtoons. And we reached here the point where I have 4 today. But I will talk about that later. But that's what you have to know about me.
Yeah, so how did you like discover Webtoon and how did you decide that you're like, yeah, I want to create a webcomic?
This is very, very interesting because it starts on my childhood. Since I was a child, I liked to draw. But the interesting part is that I was not like an artist. I was like a comic creator. You can ask my mother, you can ask my mom and my father. Since a child, I loved to read a lot of comics, and I asked my mom to buy me a lot of them, and I would just spend a lot of time reading them. And one day I was like, hey, I know how to draw. I like to read these comics. I should start making some. And I used it to take like paper and the pencil, the pen, and started creating characters and creating little comics. And that was my enjoyment. I loved that. And the years were passing by, and when I was like 10, 11, 12, my dad asked me, would you like to like do these comics? Do you want to become an artist? And I was like, yeah, I wish I could post. I wish I could. I was thinking at that time as an editor. I wished my comics would be published. But my father told me it's gonna be hard because it's not easy for you to get this type of contract or this type of life you want. And I was like, okay. And he said, you should go for something more secure. And I was like, okay. And I put this dream in the drawer, but I kept doing comics as always. Never stopped making them. And one day I was going through the internet and I discovered that you could post your comics online, like on Webtoon format. And I was like, okay, I was thinking about comics and manga, but hey, this sounds good. Like it's a good opportunity for me. I've always wanted to do that. And I was like, oh, I should do that. And I started reading them first to understand a bit about the requirements, like the height, the sizes, how each panel should go, how the reading flow worked, and I enjoyed that a lot. I saw the opportunity to like make my dream come true, so that's why I'm doing it today, and that's how I discovered it.
Yeah, I feel like people kind of have the same pipeline to being a webtoon creator as they love anime and manga or like traditional comics and then kind of just like discovered webtoon or like, yeah, I want to do that. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's really it.
So, tell me, how did you come up with the stories and how did you get to the point where you were like, yeah, I'm going to be managing several webcomics at once?
Oh, okay. So 2 questions. First question answering the first one, like when I discovered the Webtoon and the Webtoon app, and that like you could earn money and post online, and I was like, okay, I should do that. I have to choose a story. That this part was not the difficult part because I had a lot of stories that I've done before. So I was just looking at my drawings and searching for something that I found good enough to be a webtoon. That I considered good enough to be a webtoon, a long webtoon. Like, oh, yeah, I have to do a story now. So have to choose a good character, a good main character, an interesting story. I did not want something that much cliche. Not because I don't like cliche, but I love cliche. But because it was my first work, so I had to like I have no name here. I have no story. I have to do something interesting for people at least to be interested in reading. So I chose Gelaz as the first one because I thought like, oh, a character, a boy who gets cold every time he uses his ice powers. I said, okay, this is gonna be interesting. People are gonna get curious about that, and they'll probably find it very interesting. And I started posting Gelaz as my first one. Wind of the North, it came from an idea I had because I love shoujo stories, shoujo romance, shoujo manga. I love that so much, and I wanted to write a shoujo story, a romance. And I was like, okay, I like Gelaz, it's superhero, it's very cool, but I want something romantic. I want to put my ability into something romantic also. And I was thinking about, okay, I have to have an idea, a good idea, like Gelaz, because people don't know me that much, and I don't have a name, so I have to have an interesting story, an interesting, like, oh, this is gonna be good. People have to look and say this is gonna be good. And the first idea for the story was, Arya would be a character from a shoujo story, a romance story. So all her backgrounds, all her stories would round about that. And Aki would be a character from a shonen, kind of shonen story. So he would be the main character. I thought the idea was, what if the main character of a shonen story fell in love with the main character of a shoujo story? What would happen from that? And I was like, okay, I can write that. And this was the base for the Wind of the North. I adapted it a bit because you can see that today, Aki, because I thought like, oh, the public may be half feminine, half masculine, like men and women. I thought of making it more open, but I saw later that the romance would get too good and men would maybe not enjoy it as much as the girls, so or other people. So I said, okay, let's focus more on romance. But Aki never lost his essence. That we can see him in Backstage Boys. He acts very well with the boys. He's not the shoujo main lead that we are waiting for.
Yeah.
Davi, okay, how Davi came out? Davi came out because this is the first time I'm telling this actually. Davi came out because I love a series of books called The Arabian Nights.
Okay. Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought the book, and it's 2 books I have. And I read the stories, and they were amazing, amazing. I fell in love with those stories of this magical world, in the desert, and all those things, and I was like, man, this is too good. But Wind of the North has a fantasy, like a more Western fantasy. So I was like, okay, I wish I could do something more magical, but like Arabian Nights. But I'm Brazilian, so I don't understand a lot of things from East. So I said, okay, it does not have to be exact like that, but I will try to do a magical world, but a story in the desert. I want to do something like that, a magical world in the desert. Wind of the North is more on the forest, these happy things. And I thought of making Davi in the desert. So the base is prince, princess, slaves, and thieves, and jeans, and fairies. and kingdoms, and this idea came from the Arabian Nights. I love Arabian Nights so much. It's a great title. Everyone should read sometime. It's a great classical. And Backstage Boys. Oh, Backstage Boys came from a comedy. I thought, oh, I don't have a comedy story yet, and I think people would like to see more silly moments of the boys. I think people would like to see some crossovers. They were asking me before, like, there are gonna be some crossover, some crossover. So I said, okay, let's make Backstage Boys as something silly that where people can see the characters interacting with each other. Like, hey, no business, they are just interacting and having fun together. I think that's it. I talked a lot, but I think I explained everything.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You have like you have stories that are in like pretty different genres. So that must be kind of does it get hard to manage these different stories? Because you're publishing them around the same time, right? I think does it get hard to manage the stories at all?
Well, we have two sides here. The managing and the mental part, like my head, how my head is going
Yeah.
with them, and managing them on the paper part. I will call it paper part. Managing them on my head, I think it's the hardest part, really, guys. It's hard. It's because you have to write three different stories that have to make sense, and they have their own universes, and they have their own characters, and you can't be shallow on, like, I can't allow myself to let Davi be shallow or Wind of the North be shallow. They have to be good, and you have to feel good, and you have to identify with the characters. So it takes a lot of time thinking about the universes, thinking about the events that are happening, because Gelaz has a complex world, and Wind of the North also has a complex world, and Davi also has a complex world, and I know they are connected, but they on each of that's the hardest part, because they are connected, but you can read them like one of them. You don't have to read them all to understand. And I was like, okay, so they are connected. They can connect at some point, but they have to be good on their own. So I have to spend a lot of time thinking about each one of them carefully, how the characters are feeling, the side characters, is everything explained well? The power system, are people getting the power system? I have to read some comments sometimes so people can tell me, oh, I'm understanding, I'm not understanding, can I explain better? So I was like, okay, I can explain better. Because everything in my mind is kind of clear, so I need this help of them to understand. Managing the paper part, so I work with managing also stuff, and my real life job requires that. So it gave me some experience to manage things. So I don't see like, oh, I'm managing one webtoon, I'm managing Gelaz. No, it's like, for me, it's a task. Some things I have to do, so it's tasks like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. You have to make 3 chapters this week. You have to make 10 chapters this week. For social media, you have to do that. My brain works like that. I work with flows, I work with rules, and I work with tasks. So managing is not the hardest part. I think the hardest part is the creative part, and making sense and making really good stories for everyone.
Yeah. I think like because I already have a hard enough time managing the one series that I have. So just seeing you be really consistent with all of your comics is just really aspirational for me. I'm just like, man, I want to do that. I want to get as good as like managing the stuff as VA does. I think it's really admirable.
Thank you so much. Sometimes I get a hard time managing social media. I have to say, social media sometimes gets hard for me
Yeah.
because I have to think a lot. I already am thinking of 3 webtoons, and now I have to think about 3 ways to promote 3 ways, no, but ways to promote 3 webtoons. And I'm like, okay, brain, think.
I think something that I see a lot with a lot of creators, either people I talk to or just what I see online, is people will complain about their numbers and they're not growing as much as they want to. and they get really discouraged when they don't get the subscribers that they want. They don't get the amount of likes and the comments. So, what would you tell those people who are currently struggling with the like growth part of it?
Well, with the growth part, really, I'm going to give you a bit of technical advice. You have to see, like, if you're really looking for numbers, like VA, I want to grow. So I'll give you an advice. If you're looking for numbers, you have to see what is the problem, like where you are not growing really, because sometimes it's just that your social media part has to be like a bit more adapted to your audience. People are just not, sometimes they are still confused about what your story is about your characters. Sometimes they just need some content that connects with them, and your social media will grow further. Sometimes the problem is social media. The author is like, oh, I'm trying, and I know that trying to get it organically, I mean on Webtoon itself, like I want to grow only on Webtoon with no social media work, it's kind of hard, and it's like, I'd say you need some luck. So work on social media. Sometimes really the work is just working on social media. Your story is not bad, your writing is not bad. It's not that you have to improve on your drawings. I'd say most of the time, 80% of the time, is if you're struggling with some numbers, you would like some better numbers, work on better content for your social media, work with a schedule for your social media. Be patient, but keep doing this work, and do this work very well on growing your audience, because this will impact your numbers in a way that you will be like, whoa, it's working. Really, I have to say that.
I think the thing that I struggle with is just the consistency part, and being consistent, not just like with an upload schedule, but like consistency of posting on social media. I mean, as I've worked on my, like I'm entering the contest, and so as I've worked on my contest entry, I don't have like a lot of content to be able to post on Instagram, and so I'm kind of like, I just post when I can. I know like consistency does play a big part in trying to just grow an audience, and it's definitely the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I understand, really. I can understand your struggle. Um, yeah, the consistency. There's the consistency on social media, and there's also the consistency on posting the chapters as well. This this is something that we can talk about, that it's the guilt the authors feel when they don't post the chapters on the time they expected to post it. Um, really, one of the things, if you want to grow or keep going, like I've been here for 5 years doing webtoons, so I can say about staying. I can tell a bit about staying and being able to stand. Is that be patient with yourself. When your life gets too hard, when you're not able to post on that schedule you wanted it to happen. Um, it can happen. You will go wrong one time. Like, you will not be perfect. The journey will not be perfect. But be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself. It's okay. Sometimes I'd recommend you change the schedule of your posting. Oh, but 10 days, it's bad for me. I wish it was weekly. I know, but if you don't want to reduce the work you have, and you want to keep the good work you're doing, like, oh, the chapters are very good, I'm putting so much effort, so then change your schedule of posting. I'd recommend that, because the guilt you feel for not being able to post like that week, and then 1 month later you go wrong again, and this is something that kills you slowly. So you have to be careful with that. Watch that, because it can lead to a burnout in the future. It's a root of a burnout in the future. So don't get too pressured about that. Be really okay. Oh, this week was I could not post, okay, but I finished the chapter not on time. I will schedule to the next week. That's the best thing you can do. That's what I do. When I finish a chapter not on time, I schedule it to the next week, and next week it will be posted. It's okay. We keep going, but don't look back too much. Don't worry too much, because it will put some fire in your head and your heart that you don't need to carry.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. It's definitely a struggle to kind of let go of the guilt for not
Yeah,
posting. I definitely deal with that a lot when I tell people I'm like, oh, it's gonna come out this day, and I don't have it done that day,
yeah,
and then I'm just like, oh, I mean, I not that I think people are gonna be mean about it or like severely disappointed, but it gets me because I'm like, I said it was gonna be out this day and it's not.
yeah.
So
I
it's
I
definitely hard.
understand. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but it's really something, guys. Take care of it. Watch it. This is one thing that will will like kill you slowly. Sorry for saying that, but it will kill you slowly if you don't watch. So this is something very people don't talk about that much, but watch it. Really, watch it.
Have you yourself dealt with burnout and stuff before?
Burnout stuff, yes. Related to webtoons, not that much. It was more like on my work, on my real job. But um, like if you ask me, have you thought of giving up on webtoons? Yes, a lot of times. I've been doing this for 5 years. Do you think I was excited every week to post a chapter? No way. Many times I wanted to give up. Many times I wanted to stop. Many times I wanted to throw everything in the air. Many times I wanted to delete it. Many times I told myself, it's not going, it's not working. Because like I've been here for 5 years. There are some authors that have been for one, and they have like better results. They've got better results than I've got, and you compare yourself. Comparison is another thing that kills. Watch it. You compare yourself and you say, "Oh, this is so bad. I'm so bad." And yeah, I've dealt with the feeling of giving up, the feeling that I was not a good artist, the feeling that I do not want to look at my computer for a week because I don't want to draw it anymore. I don't know how to um like I don't know how to keep going writing this story. I don't know why I'm doing it anymore. So yeah, I don't know if it could be called a burnout and at this point because I had worse ones in other times. But related to webtoons, yes, and it one thing that can stir this is comments. If you get too focused on comments of what people are commenting, what they think about your webtoon, what they think about you, and you let this enter your heart and you let them dictate to you what you are and your value and the value of your story, you will sell your mental health for them. So don't do that really. Watch if you're too sensible to comments, um, don't read them the moment you post your webtoon. Don't keep waiting for them. Like post a webtoon, 1 week later, read it. That no one's going to die. Everything is going to be fine. You'll be able to answer everyone. But be kind to yourself. If you are not that secure to handle a lot of negative comments and they hurt, okay, I know they hurt. People have said mean things to me, about my webtoon, about my drawings, about my English. I'm Brazilian. My English is not that good. I will defend myself. But okay. But don't be mean to yourself. Like if you don't have like strength to look at the comments and say I don't care, be kind to yourself. Read them later. Take care. Don't get too pressured about that. Really, watch it, guys. That's something we have to watch. Let's not romanticize making stories that much because you have to consider this. Because we see many artists getting burnout, they get depressed, they give up because these things they seem like small, but they keep growing on your heart, on your mind, and later you are like, "Whoa, what's happening? I was so happy before," and it's like there are small things that are killing your joy. I can say like that. They are killing your dreams. So keep watching. Don't let those things distract you from your story.
Yeah, that's those are really good points. I find myself like the things that I struggle with the most is definitely the comparison trap. I tend to like look at some other creators and I'm like, man, their art is just so beautiful. Like this seems so easy for them and they, they're getting good results. And it's really hard for me not to get into like the trap of comparing myself to other creators. And then I ask myself, I'm like, okay, so am I doing this for subscribers? Am I doing this for people to comment? And I was like, no. No, I'm doing this for me. That's all that matters. And I think the other thing is I'm just a perfectionist. I told you this before we were recording that I hate going back to older episodes or even just episodes that I barely post, reading through it and just not liking the panels. And so I'm sitting there like criticizing my art and not being happy with it. And then I read the comments and people are like, amazing art. Art was even better than the last episode. Like you're just, they'll say really kind things like that. And I'm like, I'm being too harsh on myself. Like, really, I mean, people are only looking at a panel for just not very long at all, like maybe just a couple seconds, but they're mostly
Yeah.
reading. And so I'm like, I need to not just put so much pressure on myself to perfect every line, to have like the proportions look exactly how I want them to. Like, I really need to let go of the perfectionism because it is setting me back time and time again.
That's what we were talking before also. The one of the things that I've learned with doing for webtoons, posting for webtoons, one of them is letting the perfectionism go, because I have 4 webtoons to post weekly. Do you think I can allow myself to be perfectionist with everything? Of course not. I have to post. So, when I realized that people, they really don't, like 90% of your readers, they don't look at that much at your panels. And readers that really, really, really care about art, they will choose in a very picky way the webtoons they read. So sometimes these people, they will read yours, but sometimes they won't, and it's okay. But most people, like the biggest part of the audience, they want to enjoy a good story, and it's not sometimes only about the art. We focus so much on the art, but people sometimes, they want the characters. They want to know more about the characters. They want to know more about the universe. And we are like, oh, but the eye is not the way that I like it. But no one cares. They are like, I want to know this character better, and we are focused on the eye. No, don't focus on the eye. Focus on other things. Focus on what's important. Because what connects people is not just a pretty episode. It's a good story. And if your story is good, I can say your art can not be that good on your eyes, but if you put some passion on it, and if people, like, they relate to your characters, they like your characters, you will go very far. There are many stories that do not have like an wow art, but their story is good, the plot is good, and people read and people enjoy, and we like, oh, but they draw so poorly. Yeah, but the story is connecting. People like the characters. Focus on that also. This is very important, very, very important. The best stories we have today are not only of the best artists. It works as well. It helps a lot to get a good art, because people will get interested at the in the first phase. They will look and they will say, "Oh, whoa, I want to read that." But it's not only the art that matters. It's the story also. If not, people would not read books. I was going to say that for webtoons, they teach you that you don't have to be watching carefully at each channel. And most people don't mind. Some chapters I consider very ugly, but no one said anything about that. So I was like, okay, they didn't notice. Why would I care that much about that? So don't worry, guys. Your story is good. It's beautiful. You are trying your best. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Keep posting.
Yeah. Very, very wise words.
Thank you.
I was gonna say one of my favorite webtoons is Kidults. And if anyone that's listening has seen or read Kidults, you know the art isn't like the most beautiful art in the world. There are some panels where you're just like, but I absolutely adore the story. I love the characters. Like I feel like it was like the story itself was very slice of life, very it represents very realistic people, and it's really easy to connect with the story itself, and that's why I love it so much. It's just a very wholesome, feel good story. And it's about friendships, it's about relationships and how those can change over time, whether in good and bad ways. And I just forget about the art level, like the art skill, because I'm so immersed in the story, I just don't care. And I see that with like there's a lot of Canvas comics that I've seen that they're not like the most amazing like art god level skills, but the stories are so good that I just don't care. But I
Yeah,
think there is kind of a balance between the art and the story. Like you want to focus on having a really good story over perfecting your art, but at the same time the art is what kind of attracts people. So what I tend to tell people, like my advice is at least make your thumbnails look like your series thumbnail, make it look nice, like have a good composition, really good contrast. Um and then like your episode thumbnails, make them compelling, like grab a screenshot of a character with a compelling expression or something, and that will
yeah,
help draw people in as the art, but they will stay for the story.
yeah. Of course, no, no, of course. The art is the main thing. Like the cover is not that pretty. People probably won't look. The chances are lower. I recognize that, and that's very yeah, that's very real. But one thing good, like a good advice I'd give, like here is, um, being consistent with the style is better than trying to improve every episode your art. Like, one thing I used to do a lot, and I've seen it a lot, is that every chapter I was like, I'll give my best here, and the next chapter I'll try this new technique I learned, and how can I improve in the next chapter? How can I improve in the next chapter? And I was changing a lot of things, and the art style was not the same, and things were changing. Like, it was not being consistent. It did not look like even the same story. I was like, wait, it's a story. So I'm not saying you cannot improve. You can improve and you will improve. But a good thing, a good advice I'd give is limit a bit when you're posting your story, the amount of whoa things you want to do on the story. For example, keep the colors simple. Keep the colors like not simple, but keep them. Keep them repeating. Keep them repeating throughout the story. Sometimes you can change them. Sometimes like I mean, there will be a point where you make a major change. Like, oh, things are like I changed my art style, so I have to change a bit. Okay, but don't try to change it every episode. Don't try to improve every episode. You will see some improvement after 100 episodes, 50 episodes. There you will see really improvement. And I've done more than 300 chapters. So you can go at Gelaz, the first episode of Gelaz, read it, and then read the most recent episode of Gelaz. You say it's not the same person that's drawing. It is the same person that's drawing, but you have sometimes to be a little patient. And today, um, if I was like the person I was when I made the first episode of Gelaz, and I showed myself here, this is what it will look like. I would be like, "Oh, this is so good," but today I'm complaining about things that I've done, that I'm doing. Like, yeah, it could be better, but no, no, don't pressure yourself too much. Like, keep just a good composition, keep a good drawing. Don't try to invent the wheel every episode. Keep doing, because sometimes consistency will help um you to get some visibility. People will get used to you, to your face, to your story, to the colors, and that's very good for you, to your style. That's very, very good for you and for your name that you are building as an author.
Yeah, I think that is a really good point. You will just naturally improve as you are consistent with creating the story because you are drawing a lot of panels all the time, right? I mean, depending on the genre people are in, but most of the time you are drawing a lot of panels, and you'll just naturally progress because you just kind of naturally learn how to pick things up. And
Yeah.
in the so for me, like I've always been like really good at just picking things up really quickly and like learning skills really quickly. My problem is the perfectionism part. If I'm not if I'm not great at it at first, I just want to quit and I don't want to keep doing it and I get frustrated. But with working on webcomics and just drawing, it actually wasn't something that I ever wanted to do until I discovered Webtoon. And then I just kept reading Webtoons and I was like, I like want to do what these people are doing, but I was so intimidated. It looked like so
Yeah.
much work. And at the time, I thought to myself, I don't have the skills. I don't even know where to start with this. I don't even know how to even, like, I had a story in mind. I just didn't know how to, like, start it. Um, so what would you tell somebody who may be in that boat right now where they want to start a webtoon, but they just don't know what steps to take at first?
Well, there are many things to consider. Not many things that because they get complicated with time. But really, if you want to start a story today, I recommend you choose a gender, a genre you want to write. Like, pick, if it's your first story, don't complicate things a lot. I have 4 stories. I know what is complicating your life. My life. I complicate my life with them. So let me give you some advice. Do one story. Do a short story. People will throw stones at me, but I will say that your first story should be a short story. It will help you a lot. My first story was not Gelaz, the first one I posted online. I used it to post on Twitter as well. And I made a story of like 20 chapters, and each chapter had like 3 pages. Not 3 pages, like it was like a manga style. And each chapter had 3 pages. And the feeling I had when I finished it was like I'm able to finish something I started. And if I'm able to do this webtoon with 20 chapters, I'm able to do something bigger. This manga, yes, it was manga style. So, the feeling of being able to do a short one will will carry you further when you do your second, your third, your fourth one. Today, Gelaz has like more than 150 chapters. Davi has more than 50 chapters. Wind of the North has more than 100 chapters. So I kind of know of what is like not giving up. And the advice I'd give you, not about style, not about coloring. These other artists will be better than me to help you. But I'd give you an advice to do a short comic. Start, get into the middle, finish, and close it. It will help you a lot later if you are planning on doing something like longer, if you're planning on doing something greater. You need to have a base of knowing. You need to prove to yourself that you can do at least start and finish. You can do that. If you can't prove to yourself that, you'll be able to carry yourself. Like I'm here, 5 years of making comics, and I'm still here and publishing. And when will July's end? I don't know yet. Maybe 3 years, maybe 3 years. But I'll be here for more 3 years, for more 4 years. So this will help you a lot. Do a short story first. Don't be too much perfectionist about that. Post it. The important thing is post the first 3 chapters and work on finishing this story. This will help you a lot. You have no notion of that.
I definitely wish I had done that in the beginning. I wish I would have like planned to do a short story rather than the long form story that I had in mind. And I've had a couple people ask me over the last year or so if I'd ever go back to that story. And it's hard to answer because I feel like my first one was kind of just a test for me to see if I did want to actually make webcomics. So I wish it would have been like a shorter story. I wish that I would have just been like, I'll do 15 to 20 episodes and call it good. And I feel like I like that you said that because it definitely helps give somebody the confidence to pursue a longer story. Like you feel more accomplished, you feel really, proud of yourself. Like you finished a story, like that's incredible.
Yeah,
And I think it's really important to build up that confidence for yourself for sure.
yeah, it is. It is because I see a lot of like small, not small, but beginner artists when they are trying to start and they say, "I have the best story. You don't know, like I'm I'm I will write the best thing you. It has 100 chapters," and I look like, "Oh God, how many stories have you done before? This is my first one, but it will be the best one." No, God, no. Sit here, sit here with me, here with Audrey. Let's talk a bit, okay? Your first story will not be your best story. Your best story you haven't probably written yet. I can say that about myself. I have four. So probably my best story will be the one I will release 5 years from now, like, or 3 years from now, or after I finish Gelaz and Wind of the North and Davi and close everything, and I will draw another story that will be the best story of my life. But the first story you are doing is just to give the first step. Don't be too. You don't have to be a success on your first story. You have to reach the end. That's the most important thing for you. Start and finish. You will be able to keep growing and keep going the way you want. You'll be able to post your 100 story, your epic story that you have planned. And do a simple one. Don't be too hard on yourself. Like, oh, but I have to do a simple one if I'm going just to put like 10 chapters, a story of 10 chapters or 20 chapters. It's okay. It's okay. No one's judging you. That's not for others. That's for yourself. You have to show there's a part in you, your brain is doubting you that you can do it. When you say, I will do my first story with 100 chapters, your brain will say, no, you won't. So you have to prove to yourself, prove to your brain that yes, you can. Like, do 10, do 20, finish it, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I can do it. And you're probably able to do it. Do a small one. It's not ashamed, and you can delete it later. But keep it for yourself. It's very important for you to know that you can do it. Really, this is very, very important. I wouldn't be here with more than 300 chapters drawn if I hadn't posted my first story with 20 chapters. It's a journey, guys, and you have to put some shoes. You have to have some good shoes to walk. And if your first story finished will be your good shoe to walk, to keep walking.
Yeah, I definitely agree with those points. I think that something that I see aspiring creators or new creators struggle with the most is the feeling of like they want it to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, they just get really discouraged. And I'm not talking about like subscribers or like the numbers, but more just like how the story plays out. I I don't know if you've ever experienced this feeling, but there are times where I'm like, I want to get to these parts of the story, but I can't because there's so much to draw before I get to those points. And so I feel like for me, what helps me stay motivated to keep creating it is just thinking about those future moments in the story that I'm really excited about, that gets like I'm so motivated to do. So it's funny because it's at the same time I'm like really motivated to keep going, to keep drawing, and then at the same time I'm also very frustrated because I want to get to those moments in the story. But I love to tell people that find a story that you yourself are really passionate about. Find something that you're going to want to keep doing and finish.
Yeah.
Because if you're only creating it for like, oh, I'm creating this because I think other people will like it, I feel like this is the kind of story that people will like reading. It's like, well, then you're not going to want to keep creating it because you're not passionate about it, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with that. The passion part, it's very, very important. I do recommend everyone, when you do a story you would like to read. Like, I like a shoujo romance, so I thought, like, I want to read a shoujo romance like this. And I don't like love triangles that much. I'm sorry
No, hate
for
them.
everyone who
Hate
likes.
love triangles.
So I made my story. Seems like there's gonna be a love triangle, Wind of the North, and but seems like, but then you see things going, and you're like, wait, Arya and Aki, like, they are official, and Raven. What about Raven? And people were worried about Raven because he was not appearing anymore. And I was like, no love triangle. I don't like it. But I think you can. You have to really enjoy. Like, Gelaz is a superhero story. It is a superhero story. It does not follow the patterns of a superhero story. I know. I know it doesn't follow. It's a superhero story I like to read. I'd like to read. And it's on the way I think. And Davi does not follow that rule or that thing, or I don't know. I know it's a magic world. It's from my head. So, like, you have to. There is a point where you have to really enjoy. I really enjoy making Wind of the North. I really enjoy writing Gelaz, and I really enjoy writing Davi as well. Backstage Boys is so silly. I love them. It's so silly. I just put it wherever. Like, I sit there and I say, okay, what will be the Backstage Boy episodes? But mainly on Wind of the North, I think I did that because I like romances a lot and I read a lot of romances. And everything I didn't like on romances, I did not do. And everything I liked, I did. And there are some points, like Aki he's a kind of a different male lead. Aki and Arya, they have a very good communication. And people are like, well, they're communicating. Like, she's telling him how she's feeling and he's telling her how. Yeah, I like communication. So I put that in the story. It's not that don't communicate is not good. Like, but I did that. Yes, it's okay. You can put that in your story. But in my story, I wanted it to be a little different because I want to show people, like, oh yeah, they can communicate very well. They can have a good relationship. People sometimes say that, oh, Wind of the North is so cute, it's so good, like, it's healing. Yeah, no, that's the feeling I would like to give. Like, a romance where you do not feel pain all the time.
Yeah.
Or you don't suffer that much. I really wanted something that felt warm on people's heart, on the reader's heart. And I like when people say, oh, it's my therapy, oh, it's so good. Yeah, I feel the same. I love writing it too. The romance is alive there. The love is real there.
Yeah, I'm with you with the miscommunication and, like, the love triangles. I think people kind of, I mean, specifically with the miscommunication parts of stories, I don't mind when there's miscommunication. It's, we experience that in our daily lives as human beings in relationships.
Yeah.
But I think what the killer of the miscommunication is if you're stretching it out for a long time. And it's so annoying. I cannot stand having the same problem, like this miscommunication. Like, say a character gets the wrong idea about her love interest and she sees him with another girl and she doesn't ask him who this other girl is, and they just don't talk to each other, and it lasts for like 10 plus episodes. It drives me crazy because I'm like, just, it can happen. I'm fine with it happening. Just, like, don't stretch it out for so long. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like when that happens. I was almost switching to Portuguese here.
Oh.
You made me agree with that one. But no, yes, I don't like when that happens. I think communication, like, for example, if you're writing something for teens, like, it's a school story, it's a school romance. Oh, it's okay to have miscommunication. We are really stupid when we are teens. I'm talking about myself, okay? I'm an adult now, but I was a stupid teen. I used to have weird ideas, and you don't talk too much. You are kind of infantile. You are childish.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, childish on your attitudes. But I think there's this is my opinion, that it's good to give the reader a sense of growth for the character. Like the character not keeping the same. It's learning. They are learning with time. They are learning with what they are living, with what they are going through. And I like to give that. With Aki and Adia, I decided not to make them learn too much with their mistakes at this point of communication because I thought it would be good to give a healthy relationship. Not against guys, okay, it's okay if you like a red flag. It's no problem. I'm just telling you about Wind of the North. That's the case. That my choice was to make a fluffy story, really, and to keep hope alive for love. But yeah, that was a choice I made, and I think it's good because it gives people you can give your people your vision. Because if we look like all the stories, they seem to sometimes a lot of stories seem to follow the same pattern, the same way, the same thing. But the author itself has some original ideas. You have what you think, you have what you believe, and it's good sometimes when you show it through your story. Like, hey people, I believe that communication is good, it's healthy, and I think they can grow with that. And oh, here, look, this is how I believe love is like. This is how I believe the characters should act with each other, and that's very good. People, there are a lot of people that will enjoy it. You know, you don't have to like, the miscommunication. Like, yeah, but do you believe that miscommunication should be solved? Do you believe that a healthy relationship should have communication? Yes, I do. So you can put that in your story. People will feel happy. Sometimes people will even learn with your story. Some people will need that.
True. That's very good
That's
point.
something we can talk about.
So I'm really curious, what are your favorite Webtoon tropes and your least favorite Webtoon tropes?
Okay, Webtoon tropes. Oh, like I feeling like a bit of like a grandma because the Webtoon tropes they change a lot with time, and I'm not following the trends. I'm from the old times like childhood friends to lovers and something like that. But okay, I like the hero journey, weak protagonist, and his journey to become a hero. I love that. Gelaz is about that. Read Gelaz. I like enemies to lovers. When not enemies. I like enemies to lovers because there's Dan and AB. I can't say I don't like that. I like that too. I'm not a huge fan of some red flags relationships. I prefer healthy stuff. People, I'm sorry. That's who I am. But I like childhood friends to lovers, and yeah, I think that's that. I don't have like a trope that I have in mind. Like that's what I was saying. I'm a grandma. I don't know what the tropes are recently. I don't know what people are talking about recently. But yeah, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy most of things. I think all tropes they can work well. No, there are some very weird ones, so no, they can't work well. But most of them they can. If worked well, they can be pleasurable to read. So I'm not against a lot of tropes. I think if you work well with it, it's going to be good. Like I don't read much supernatural stories or horror stories, but I believe, of course, there are good horror stories. Of course, there are good supernatural stories with good tropes about that. And yeah, I think you should give a chance to all genres, all types, and all tropes. And probably one of them will be good, but some tropes are weird. I will not mention them here because I don't remember them a lot, but also because they are too heavy to say here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
We're kind of the same. I love the childhood friends to lovers trope. I do like enemies to lovers. I like enemies to lovers when they treat it right. I feel like a lot of enemies to lovers is more treated like rivals to lovers. I need the seething hatred for each other for me to like really be into it. I hate love triangles. I can't stand them. People were assuming in my comic that there was going to be a love triangle because there's like the female lead already has a love interest and then you have the male lead. And so people were assuming, "Oh, there's going to be a love triangle." And I was like, "No.
No way.
No. No, there is not." And I think people don't write love triangle correctly. It's like a love corner. I can't remember where I saw that on the internet, but somebody dubbed it as love corner, where you have the two other love interests and they like the same, like the main character. But a love triangle is like you have the main character who's into this character, but the this character is into that character and so forth. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's never treated how it should be, right?
Too much pain. Too much pain. Love triangles are too much pain, guys.
Yeah.
I can't choose everyone. There's one that will suffer. Nah, I can't stand that.
Yeah. I think the what's some of my other favorite tropes? I love the I don't know if you've heard of it, but the red oni, blue oni. I don't know. I'm probably butchering how to say that, but it's like when you have a character who's just fiery and passionate and kind of impulsive, but then you have another character who is calm, collected, logical, and I love like the contrast between them both.
Very cute. Yes, very cute, adorable.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of it before, but you're explaining. Yes, I like it. It's very cute.
Yeah. Like when I was first drafting up my comic story, I actually went to tvtropes.com and they have like so many tropes, not just in like TV, but like in manga, in webtoon, in literature, you name it. Like they have like they have an entire catalog library of tropes. And so I picked out ones that I just loved and I just didn't know that they had a specific name for them. And I was like, I'm going to put these in my story. And I think people confuse cliches and tropes, like they get them mixed up. Like, oh, you shouldn't have any tropes. No, you're like your stories are built on tropes most of the time, but it's the cliches that get me, you know, where you have like a main character who's perfect and things come so easily. It's like that kind of stuff. But yeah, tropes are fine. You can have tropes in your story. That it's kind of like ways you can structure the story itself, and some tropes fall in line into a certain genre, and some are kind of like universal, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's okay to have tropes in your story.
Yeah, oh, I remembered another one. I do, actually. Hate difference. I can add ya. Yes, hate difference trope. Yes, okay. That's we can consider this one.
Yeah.
I remember this one.
Yeah.
This one I like, yeah. Tall girl, short guy, good. Tall guy, short girl, also good. Love them.
I also love the black cat and like golden retriever, or like the sun and moon trope, where one of the characters is broody, moody kind of vibe, personality, and the other is just like a happy-go-lucky, playful, like adventurous type, but they mesh well. And it doesn't even it's not even like it has to be like a romantic relationship with like the golden retriever and black cat. It's just I like the contrast.
Oh yeah, so cute. Yeah, agree.
Especially if like best friends have that dynamic. Yeah. But I'm also curious, who are your favorite webtoon creators? Like, who are the creators that you love their webtoons, or like you get really inspired by them?
Okay. I will mention here the author of Roots of the Heart. Yeah. I like her webtoon a lot. I like her social media work a lot. I like her communication a lot. Yeah. I like a lot. Like, really good job. I'm a fan. Really fan of the work. The Mafia Nanny. I like a lot also the story. I like everything. Like, it's good also. Something I really enjoy to follow. The author, I like the author of, what's the name of her webtoon? The Gentle Way. Oh. I enjoy the, I'm sorry. It's because sometimes there are some stories I enjoy. There are some authors I enjoy. And I enjoy her job as an author also. Oh, my friend Teichi. That's how I pronounce your name. I don't know. She was here on your podcast in one episode. Oh, she's the author. Yes. Yeah. She was a delight. I absolutely adored talking to her. She was awesome. Yeah. Her stories, I love them. Both of them, she has made some stories before, and it's very good. I'm also a fan of hers. And Ray Hayes, Rays. I'm sorry I'm pronouncing all your names wrong, but I'm also a fan of your work. I'm a fan of your webtoons. And yeah, I think that's that I'm remembering right now. But there are more people. But it's just my mind. It's okay. These are the ones.
Yeah, I love those guys too. Like I did a collab with Mew 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 last year, and she was so sweet, and I just love how wholesome Roots of the Heart is. Teachy was so fun. I adore To Catch a Star. Like it it has all like the drama. Like I love stories with drama. I don't like
Yeah.
it can have some trauma, but if the entire story is just trauma, I'm like I can't like but yeah, I love To Catch a Star. It's so beautiful. I love her art. And I can't believe how young
I
she
agree.
is too. She's like 20 something. Like she's still
I
in
don't
university.
know.
She's very talented for her age. Uh and Chewed, who's the artist for Mafia Nanny and Violet Matter, yeah, they knocked it out of the park. It's no wonder that it's like one of the most popular webtoons on the platform right now.
Yeah.
Like they did super good job. And of course, Rizia, like I don't know if Rizia, if you're watching, but I adore you. Like we both do. You're amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's just the sweetest person I've ever met in my life. Like she's just always so warm and friendly, and she always just has like the most encouraging things to say. Like she's just so wonderful.
Yeah, agreed. Love her.
Okay, so before we end today, I have one more question for you. What has been well, I guess two questions. What has been the most rewarding aspect of being a webcomic creator, and what has been like the hardest aspect of it?
That's really good. The good part. And um, I I'd say um, actually I love when people. I feel good when people comment that they are enjoying or they are relating to the characters somehow. Um, I don't know, like if you follow me on social media and if you follow my stories, you see that I love some family stuff. I love some like heartwarming things that touch the heart, like stories, like Fred's relationship with his brother, with his father, and Aria's relationship with her sister. And there's always family involved. And I like when people say that, oh, it looks like me and my brother. Oh, I wish my father was like that also. Or I wish I had friends like this. And it really touches me because that's um I'm showing something that it's in my heart. So that this is something I like a lot. And like the part when Fred and Dan and the father they adopt Lupin as the brother, as their new brother. This was very touching to me because he lost his wife, he lost the kid, but he got another kid, and I like to write some things like that. I like to write things that give hope. I like to write things that touch people's heart. I like when people say, I'm relating to that, I lived that, or, oh, yeah, I lived that somehow, or I wish I lived that, because even the wish, it means it's touching them somehow and it's giving some hope. I love happy endings, guys, so you can wait for happy endings for all webtoons. Maybe not everything will be happy, but I like happy endings in general. I believe in that. That's what I like to do. So that's the most rewarding part, is knowing that people are getting touched by what you are doing. But like, guys, the money, I work in real life, so money is not really the main thing here. Is more about the people, the audience really is touching people's hearts. It's really why I do what I do. And the hardest part, okay, is because, well, That everything I said before. If you don't watch things, they will grow as a bad root in your heart, in your mind, and it will slowly start to poison you. So you have to watch it. You have to take care of yourself. You have to know what are your priorities. You have to know to say no also. Because sometimes to reach the point where you want to reach, you have to say no to some things. No to a longer chapter, no to a certain thing the audience wants to happen. It happens a lot. The audience says, "Oh, I want it to happen. I want it to happen," and you start thinking, "Oh, I should make it." Whoa, wait, wait! You are planning something. Keep doing what you're planning. Keep stay strong. The hardest part is stay strong because, like, I'm here for 5 years, so you have to stay strong. There will be rain. There will be sun. You have to just stay. The hardest part is to stay. And the bad comments, the times when no one sees your webtoon, the times when people just like your webtoon, like they go to the, they give 1 star to your webtoon. I know what's that, guys.
Yeah.
And that's very bad. When people comment bad things, they said bad things about my English. That's not even related to webtoons. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And but like face face be courageous to face those things if you really want to keep doing that, and use them as stones to step on it. Like someone, I was talking to Audrey before, that someone said that my action scenes, they looked like dancing before, and this comment really got me because I gave my best on that action scene, and I was like, okay, I'm not good enough. But later I thought, okay, I will become better.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like, you don't like, but okay, maybe I should become better. Today I'm a bit better. I can get more better, of course. I can get better, of course. But use what you can see as stepping stones. Like what can be relevant to you as stepping stones, and what is not, just cut it and don't let it enter your heart. Don't let it poison you. Protect yourself, protect your heart. Make good friends, because there are a lot of friendly people here. Enjoy what you're doing, because that's very important. Work in a social media, because webtoons unfortunately are not just about posting. You have to do the social media part. It's very important as well to grow an audience. Take care of the audience you have already. They're very important. They will support you a lot for a long time. So, and that's very, very important, because the day you have 1,000 is because one day you had 10. So, and have an eye that everything is growing. Not everything will happen fast, but if you are growing, it's okay. You are not in the same place as you were when you started.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are really important things to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah, that's what I would say about that. But the bad things, I don't like to focus too much on the bad things, because keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah, keep going with it. Just stay consistent, do it because you enjoy it. Like creating a webcomic isn't, at least for us, isn't meant to be stressful. It's not supposed to be hard. You know, it should be something that brings you joy.
Yeah, never lose the joy of drawing chapters. After 300 chapters, I still enjoy doing chapters. And Russian chapters, I enjoy doing more than others, of course, but I always enjoy sitting here and drawing them. So never lose this joy, guys. It's possible not to lose.
Absolutely. Okay, V8, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. It was such a delight to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I was very nervous before, but I was very happy to be here. I was very happy that I was able to share some things that maybe will help someone. I will be very happy if this help you that are listening at some point. Yeah, I'm very, very happy because, oh yeah, I love to participate on those things. I love to talk. I'm Brazilian, guys. I'm the extrovert Brazilian, so I like to talk a lot. I'm sorry if you had to listen too much, but I'm very thankful to be here. I love to do this stuff, and I'm happy. I hope my experience can help you somehow. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. And that's it. Thank you for receiving me here. I'm very happy. Yay!
Thank you. So where can our listeners find you online?
You can find me on TikTok, you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram and on Webtoon. I'm active on the creator feed, so you can follow me there also.
Yeah, go follow her on socials. I will link all of your socials and your webcomics in our show notes. So guys, go give her a follow, go read her webcomics. I still can't believe she's managing how so many webcomics at once. I'm amazed. It's admirable. So go follow
Thank
her.
you so much.
Go follow her on all those platforms. I will post them in our show notes. If you found this podcast informative, entertaining, give us a like, give us a follow. You can find us on Instagram at the Webtoon Wave. We are also on TikTok. You can listen to us on YouTube. We will post full-length episodes as well as clips on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify. So stay creative, stay inspired, and we'll see you next time.